and he gave me a list of everything. And you know what was really interesting about that list? Is that he was charging that program for like paper. A situation where instead of giving them something, they were charging them for something. And that's how the bill got padded, by bringing up little incidences of money, all stacked up to where they're short. Now, I'm going to close now by giving you another reason that they closed it, was they had built a new, they wanted to expand the daycare, they had a used room in the back they used to sell all their used stuff in. And it was great. You'd bring your stuff, drop it off, and they'd sell it. Well, they created a bill. They created a amount of money they had to pay because of this building that they built. And you can see this building back there. And that's the reason, the other reason they closed the senior daycares, because they needed to get more money to pay off this other building, see? So I just want to register a complaint about this lack of daycare for the disenfranchising Willis at the senior center. Thank you for listening.
Louis, after this meeting, can I put you in touch with Susan Ira?
Anybody wants to talk to me, I'm happy to. I don't want to create any problems.
No, needs to be talked about, and I want to direct you to a person to talk to.
They don't have this anymore. So my mother-in-law passed on since then, so I'm out of the loop, and I can't give any more support to Willett Senior Center. In fact, I don't go to the center, and I'm not going to go to the center because of this. I find the current director of the Willett Senior Center a criminal in this activity, because he covered it all up too. Okay.
Thank you, Louis. All right. Okay. Okay. Any additional public comment to the proclamation or this discussion on the Area Agency on Aging? Okay. I do want to thank all the volunteers. I want to thank all the staff too. And you've heard my comments about how much I enjoy this program, and we're all going to be there one day. So thank you very much. Okay, item 7B, scheduled for 11:30. Presentation and adoption of proclamation recognizing the week of May 18th through the 24th of this year as Emergency Medical Services Week, and a recognition award along with that for lifetime achievement. To the EMS agency, any introduction items on this? We'll move to the proclamation as we proceed. So, Supervisor.
Well, Mr. Chairman, thank you. It's, as you mentioned all the duties we have, this is one of the ones that make me more proud. And that's the opportunity to read a proclamation of the Mendocino County Board of Supervisors recognizing Emergency Medical Services Week of May 18th through the 24th, 2008 in Mendocino County. Whereas emergency medical services, EMS, are a vital public service, and whereas the EMS teams consist of emergency dispatchers, law enforcement officers, first responders, firefighters, basic emergency medical technicians, paramedics, air ambulance crews, emergency nurses and physicians, educators, administrators, and others. And whereas the members of EMS teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas approximately 2/3 of all EMS providers are volunteers. And whereas the members of EMS teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas injury prevention and the appropriate use of the EMS system helps reduce local as well as national health care costs. And whereas the citizens and guests of Mendocino County benefit daily from the knowledge and skills of these highly trained individuals. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by recognizing Emergency Medical Services Week. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Mendocino hereby proclaims the week of May 18th to 24th, 2008 as Emergency Medical Services Week, and encourages the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. And I would add into that a big thank you to all those who volunteer and their time and energies to behalf of the citizens and the visitors of Mendocino County. Dated May 20th, 2008, Jim R. Wattenberger, Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I would make the motion to adopt this proclamation.
There is a motion to adopt the proclamation. Do I hear a second?
Second.
There is a second. Discussion to the proclamation? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor of the proclamation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Please make the presentation to the EMS agency. Thank you.
Chairman Wattenberger, members of the board, I'm Carmel Angelo, Director for the Health and Human Services Agency. We certainly would like to thank you for this proclamation. The Health and Human Services Agency would also like to thank all the volunteers, all of our community partners, and Coastal Valley's EMS for all the good work they do 24/7 with emergency medical services in this county. At this time, I would like to have Sam Barnett come up. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmel. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Board, for this lovely proclamation recognizing EMS Week and the work that all this team does day in and day out. It was interesting. My name is Sam Barnett. I'm the EMS coordinator for Mendocino County, and I'm with the Coastal Valley's EMS region. As you know, we're a 3-county region consisting of Mendocino, Napa, and Sonoma counties. It was interesting listening to the previous proclamation where it reminded me that indeed we're all possible recipients of EMS services someday. It's waking up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. when we can't breathe and knowing that help is a phone call away. And that's when EMS counts to most of us. Unfortunately, the average person doesn't think of EMS until it's needed, and I'm hoping that through our work together, we can raise the consciousness in the county to help support this vital public service. I personally would like to thank, on behalf of the EMS agency, all the team consisting of medical dispatchers, the first responders, law enforcement, fire departments, the private ambulance agencies, the paramedics, and basic EMTs that work day in and day out to help all of us. This also includes all our flight nurses and air ambulance services, including our 3 hospitals, our emergency departments, all the wonderful physicians and emergency nurses that help us, and the education that goes on in this county through paramedic training and EMT training. So again, thank you very, very much, and I'm hoping to work with you in the years to come to improve and raise the consciousness of the public about the vital necessity of continuing support for EMS in Mendocino County. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam. There is a second part of this presentation, and this one brings great pride to this supervisor being able to present it. And this is a proclamation of the Mendocino County Board of Supervisors recognizing Robert, also known as Bob McAdoo, for a lifetime of exceptional achievement in emergency medical services. Whereas Bob McAdoo is the owner and operator of the Ukiah Ambulance Service, Inc., and whereas Bob has made an extraordinary, significant, and lasting contribution to emergency medical